Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles, and I welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we have an interesting episode for you guys that you definitely want to stick around for, so make sure you're going to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, I was doing some research this morning, and I found a very interesting article on sportsrush.com. And the article itself on sportsrush.com was actually sourced from heavy.com, from an heavy.com article. And basically, this article was centered on some comments that former NBA All-Star Stephon Marbury had to make about Michael Jordan. Now, I'm sure everyone on this channel is pretty aware that Kobe Bryant is my favorite basketball player of all time. I'm sure all of you guys know this, but I have said on many occasions, and I will repeat it again, that I believe that Michael Jordan was better than Kobe Bryant, and I believe that MJ is the undisputed GOAT. This is just my opinion, and apparently, according to Stephon Marbury, in that article, he thinks that MJ is the undisputed GOAT, and to him, he really can't seem to understand why people are even making the comparisons of comparing Jordan to any other basketball player that literally ever lived. But before we get into his comments, because it's actually a lot and it was a Q&A, and we want to read it in its entirety, so we want to get to that quickly. This video is brought to you by our sponsor, Aura, who's also the official sponsor of the T-Wolves. Do you know what the fastest growing crime in America is today? It's identity theft. Imagine trying to log into your email only to see that your password has been changed. Then you start getting weird notifications from your bank and credit cards, only to find out that all of your personal and sensitive information has been totally compromised. If you think it can happen to you and your family, just know that in 2020, over 49 million Americans were victims to identity theft, costing them a combined $56 billion. That is why we are excited to partner with Aura, who's the sponsor of this video. Aura is the #1 identity theft and financial fraud protection. Aura monitors the dark web and alerts you if any of your passwords and accounts have been breached. And funny enough, after using Aura, I discovered some of my credentials were floating around in the dark web, and the app showed me exactly when and where the breach happened. In addition, Aura allows you to set spending alerts, and they'll notify you of any suspicious transactions. Aura is 4 times faster than any of its competitors in alerting you if someone is trying to open a credit card or obtain a loan using your name. And remember this, every 14 seconds, someone becomes a victim of identity fraud. Don't let it happen to you. Now click the link in the description and try Aura for free for 2 weeks and see if any of you or your family's personal information has been compromised. Start your free trial at aura.com/dreamerspro. And when you try Aura, by using the link in the description below, also know that you're supporting this channel. Thank you. Now, what we want to do is we want to get into this article from heavy.com, their sports section. So let me just get into it here. Basically, it starts off with the headline, LeBron James can't be compared to Michael Jordan, reveals Stephon Marbury. Stephon Marbury said one question. He says, people want to rank Jordan. Jordan shouldn't even be ranked. It should be Kobe, then LeBron, and then you guys can pick after that. There's no comparison, man. It's not the same. It's just different worlds, different mentalities. I don't know why Jordan's name is mentioned in the same conversation sometimes. I'll clear it up real quick. There is really no need to talk about it. I mean, as the best player, those guys, Kareem, Bill Russell, somebody had to give them the ball to do what they do. Jordan got the ball, and that was it. Those guys, Kareem, Bill, Russell, Shaq, those guys are the type of guys that are different specimens on earth that played the game. Jordan is not. Jordan is not from earth. That's different. He's not the same. And I think it'll really be insightful when they drop that Michael Jordan, when they drop that whole piece. I don't know if they didn't drop it yet, that series. April 19th, yeah. The crazy part is that now everybody is home, so nobody can go anywhere. All the kids have to watch it, and they're gonna be like, damn, this is crazy. So it's kind of like going to mess up things for guys like LeBron James and them saying like, you can't say LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan. Come on, man. LeBron's a great player. Don't get me wrong. A great player. Unbelievable. Amazing. But better than Michael Jordan, it's not even the same. It is just different. In fact, it needs no explanation or explaining because we can't talk about Jordan's game. It's like we need to talk about what other people are not. I remember it like it was yesterday. I was just in awe. I was so much in awe that they jumped the ball scored, and I was standing there looking. And then after that, I snapped out of it. But it's fun, man, being able to say you played against Jordan. You went at Jordan. And Jordan said, I couldn't do nothing with young blood. So the real spoke the real. So you heard what Stephon Marbury had to say there, talking about Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Bill Russell, Kareem, and Shaq. Y'all heard what he had to say. Now, I already know that his comments are going to spark a major debate on the channel, and we love that, right? That's what sports is all about. So here are my thoughts, right? I've always said, listen, if you aren't bringing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to the GOAT debate, I'm not interested in hearing it, in my personal opinion, right? I don't think there's a single argument from a resume standpoint that you can bring up and say, okay, we're going to put this guy's resume next to Michael Jordan's, and somehow we're going to try to make an argument that this guy's better than MJ. I think Kareem is really the only person. Now, some people may say Bill Russell, but again, I'm only speaking from my standpoint. Now, if we're talking about just being a ball player and removing all of the stats from the equation, and we're just talking about basketball, then bring me Kobe. Bring me Kobe. Kobe is the closest thing I have ever, let me not even say we have ever seen to Michael Jordan. He has arguably, or Kobe had arguably the deepest bag of any NBA player ever. If y'all think Kyrie Irving got a deep bag, you ain't seen, no, his bag is not as deep as Kobe Bryant. It ain't even as deep. Kyrie Irving is a better ball handler, and he's a creative finisher. Kobe had all the shots. All of them. And Kobe would finish with contact over 7-footers. Like, that's the fundamental difference. And when we talk about move, Kobe had every move, right? Every single move. At one point, he was hitting left-handed three-point shots. Like, cut it out. Cut it out. His footwork, his post game, he was on another level. So Kobe Bryant arguably has the deepest bag in NBA history. I believe he's the only player in NBA history that can go toe-to-toe on a psychological level with Michael Jordan and hold his ground. Michael Jordan, it wasn't just about his will, but it was also about the mental intimidation on the court. Jordan had this Mike Tyson effect on guys. He could literally take his opponents out before the match even started, right? It was also psychological warfare out there when Mike Tyson was out there laying dudes flat, right? And Jordan was the same way. Jordan would torment you before the game even started. And I think Kobe was one of these guys that'd be able to stand toe-to-toe with him psychologically. I think Kobe's just as clutch as Jordan. Kobe Bryant has 36 game winners in his NBA career. 36 game winners throughout the course of his career. I think he could play defense almost as good as Jordan, but Jordan obviously is the more elite defender. And Jordan said with his own two lips, somebody cracked up when I said this, I'm gonna say it again. Jordan said with his own two lips that Kobe was the only player that he believed that could actually beat him. Now he cracked and said, he joked up and said, hey, well, because he he stole some of my moves, but he did say that. I never heard Jordan say that about anybody else. And I personally believe that Jordan respected Kobe the most out of any NBA player that has ever lived, in my personal opinion. I think he's admired the guys. I don't think Jordan necessarily admired Kobe. Maybe he admired certain things about him, maybe his audacity, because we know Jordan looked up to players like Dr. J and others. But we're talking about respect. I don't think Jordan respected anybody as much as he respected Kobe Bryant. And I think that's partly due to the fact that Kobe was a mirror image of Jordan. Like, when he looked in the mirror, he would see himself. And I believe when Jordan looked at Kobe, he saw himself in Kobe. And I think the fear that Kobe struck in the heart of NBA players was unlike anything I've ever seen. Unlike anything I've ever seen. And he was easily the biggest draw to the sport when he was alive, when he was playing basketball. This is not up for discussion. This is not up for discussion. If you don't believe me, just go ask Kevin Love, or who's a former teammate of LeBron, or go ask Chris Bosh, right? Kevin Love recently said, listen, when Kobe was coming to the arena, like when he was coming to town, everybody knew it. Everybody was excited about it. And you don't even want to discuss it on an international level. It was not even close. You just go look at videos of Kobe Bryant moving around different countries and other countries. It's not even close, his global appeal. And if you look at the NBA today, how many players you see rocking Kobe Bryant shoes? Kobe is literally what you call your favorite player's favorite player. That's who Kobe is. So that's what I took away from it. So what I want to know from you guys is this. What do you think about what Stephon Marbury had to say about it just being ridiculous comparing anybody to Michael Jordan, that this guy was heads and shoulders above the rest you know, he should be in a stratosphere all on his own, and then we should be here debating about the rest of the guys. So just remove Jordan because he's too great. And let's start the #1 ranking because this guy is just like, he's out of here. So whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. And we catch y'all on the next episode.